little bit of background on me. I came into pet health from a shelter, actually. My background started out in for-profits and retail management after school. Then I went into, back in the, to give away my age, back in the early 80s, I went into the computer industry, into managing a computer store, so I have some background in computers. Then I went into human services, and out of human services, I thought, oh my gosh, there's a lot of politics here. Maybe I'll go into animal welfare. There's got to be less. I was stupid, but anyway. So I went to the Southern Oregon Humane Society in Southern Oregon as the executive director, and I was there for 15 years. And then, gosh, almost 6 years ago, I came to work for Pet Health. The shelter I ran was one of the first shelters to sign on to PetPoint back in 2005. It's still, I'm happy to say, it's still utilizing PetPoint to this day. And so I've gone from for-profit to nonprofit back to for-profit. So although Pet Health is a much different company, and I want to talk a little bit about who we are and what we do with and for shelters. So we are for-profit, but the goal of Pet Health is to really work collaboratively with animal welfare organizations to support the saving lives of animals, to help people, as well as to help the shelters in becoming more efficient. And obviously, as a for-profit company, we need to make money in that as well. We have client services directors throughout the country. There are 5 of us. I have the West Coast now. I just got added to the northern states over to the Great Lakes, so I travel quite a bit. I actually live in Seattle. I just recently moved here, and I love the city. The rain's not so good, but I came from Southern Oregon, so I'm a little accustomed to this. Anyway, so Pet Health is you have some information there about it. We are an international company. We're in 3 countries. We're recently acquired by Pet Health, or by Fairfax Holding Company out of Canada in November of 2014, which was a great thing for Pet Health. We were started by an entrepreneur back in the 90s, late 90s, as a pet health insurance company in Canada, and through his vision, he grew the company into providing microchips and other services to the animal welfare community, and then again in 2014 sold to Fairfax Holding, which has been a great thing for us. So a little bit about us. So we have a variety of products. There are 3 brands that we have. Pet Health is our overarching. We have a little like identity crisis that we're working on. We have many, many brands, and we're working on consolidating those down. But Pet Health is our overarching company. Under that, we have PetPoint, which is our data management program, which again many of you use. 24 Pet Watch is our microchip, lost pet recovery, and insurance business. We also have Pet Tango, which is our adoptable search. Vestify, which is our newest entry into the software market, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. And Bluefin, we have a partnership with Bluefin as our online payment transaction provider through PetPoint. So for PetPoint shelters, you can actually utilize PetPoint as a computer or a payment processing. So you eliminate the need for external devices and those kinds of things. So it's a great integration. So a little bit about our history. Again, we started in 1998 as, is this thing shaking or is it me?
It's shaking.
Okay, good. We first launched into the pet health industry. Again, that was back in 1998. In 2003, we expanded to include lost pet recovery and microchips as well. In 2005, as I was mentioning, we introduced PetPoint software, which was really the first large-scale product out there. PetTango.com launched in 2009 as a search engine. Prior to that, we had a relationship with PetFinder. And then in 2014, we joined the Fairfax family of companies. For any of you that are not familiar with Fairfax, they're a very large company, holding company out of Canada. The owner of that is he's like the Canadian version of Warren Buffett. So really, their philosophy is amazing. They're really, really interested in people. So they put the people first, not only as employees, but also the people with whom we work. So PetPoint, I know most of you already know what PetPoint does, but just a little bit about it. It's a web-based product that really helps to manage all of your intakes, outcomes, all your data management needs. One of the nice things about PetPoint is that we have, as a cloud-based system and as a shared database, we have access to aggregating data, and one of the benefits of that is, and I don't know, okay, if you use this or if any of the others do, but you can actually go on to PetPoint if you're a PetPoint shelter, and you can look at your statistics compared to regionally as well as nationally. So there's some, in working with the Federation, I'm hoping that we can continue with that and look at ways to start gathering more data to help make more informed decisions. So we do basic medical care, all sorts of things, transfer network, being able to transfer animals electronically between PetPoint shelters. So we're currently in over 1,850 shelters throughout the US and Canada. We are the largest provider of software services for animal welfare currently, and intend to continue that. We have just invested, I've got a whole bunch more slides, but I don't have time to show them all. The company, when Fairfax bought us, we just recently invested over $4 million into the basic platform of PetPoint, and are continuing to make improvements and changes, and will be totally revamping our product over the next few years. So there's some exciting things happening with pet health that's going to help shelters become much more efficient in their data management. 24 Pet Watches are lost pet recovery as well as microchip and pet health insurance. And it's good that we have other pet health insurance companies in here. I think there's not enough pets being insured, and the more people there are out there doing that, the better it is for our pets, as you all know. So we are the global leader in the distribution of microchips. So we distribute microchips throughout Canada, the US, and some into the UK, but primarily through the US and Canada. You can see the information that I provided there. We sell about 1.5 million microchips a year. We have the 3 different types of microchips. We have the standard chip, which is like the regular 12 gauge. We also have the mini chip, which is our 15 gauge. We recommend that for smaller animals. And we also have a new temperature reading chip that's great for animals that are in care longer in shelters, that helps to medically manage those animals better. Those are all available at discounted prices for pet health for clients. And again, we sell over 1.5 million a year. It's a little outdated. So our lost pet recovery database is actually one of the most robust in the country. We cross-register microchips, as I think all of us do, which is a great thing. The more ways we can find ways to get animals back to their owners is good. We are fully staffed 24/7, 365. We also have a live chat. So we have live bodies that are stationed in both Canada and the US. So there's a call center that's open all the time for people to reunite pets. We do have some unique features in that we'll actually get on, if a pet owner or if somebody has found a pet and they get on the line with us, we'll try to connect them directly with the pet's owner if we can reach them, so we can make that connection right there, and so the animal gets returned quicker to the home and it avoids coming into a shelter. We have over 10 million microchips registered through 24 Pet Watch, and they are, believe me, every microchip you can imagine. There's some new ones coming in from Korea, I think now, that are, so we can register any microchip. And the nice thing is, as a member of AHA's Lookup now, I recommend that for any shelter, and I think most of you probably already do use that, but if you have animals with a microchip, we now are a member of that, so any microchip that's registered, you can look that up and we'll show you the last registry with whom that chip was placed. So that's a great benefit. Anyway, I've talked about this. We have the direct connect, and we are open 24/7, 365 with staff. And we do have bilingual, so we do have Spanish speaking as well. So our 24 Pet Watch pet insurance products are, again, our primary outlet for pet health insurance is through shelters, through our partnership with shelters. We have a unique business model in that we don't do direct sales of pet health insurance to the public. We rely on our shelter channel to partner with us and to provide that. So one of the unique things about pet health is that we provide our base PetPoint product to shelters at a discounted rate. So if they choose to use our microchips, we discount part of the product price off of that. If they use our promote our insurance and use that as their to give to their adopters as a trial product, we'll discount that more. And then if they use the Pet Tango Lost or Pet Search, we discount it another. Those are about 20% on that. So you can get into using PetPoint at really no cost to you. So it's a nice partnership. That's the way we market to the public. We don't do any direct. So it's really important. The shelter channel is very important to pet health in providing pet health insurance out there. And all those adopters that you know, we get to actually help them with their pet health insurance needs. We've just recently gone through some changes with our pet health insurance over the last, in October, we just launched a new product here in Washington State. And so, we used to have a lot of products out there, about 17 different options. Now we've narrowed that down to about 4. So we're very competitive in the marketplace and have some great benefits. And again, for pet health shelters, they can offer a trial membership of insurance to their adopters. So for the first 30 days, they can have pet health insurance coverage for their pet. Whether they choose to continue to buy ours or buy another product, we don't care as long as they're insuring their pets. That's the important thing. Obviously, we don't want them to come to us, but if they're buying pet health insurance, that's the goal. So Petango was launched in 2009, and don't ask me where the name came from. I don't know. That's the brand we came up with. And again, we're going under some rebranding over the next few years, so that this may be changing. But it's real time for adoptable pets. So all of the pets that are in PetPoint databases that are available for adoption can be searched and found through Petango. We also do you can add videos, we've got photos, you can do some pretty advanced profiles on there. You can see the pet search, you can search by area, you can search in specific shelters. So much like Pet Finder and Adopt a Pet, we are the third largest one of the online pet social media outlets, really. Third largest adoption site. This is also integrated into Pet Health, so you can place this on your iFrame, or you can use some advanced programming to create your own kind of web services to display pets through PetPoint on your website. And it's a great way to get your adopters out there. You can also place this on Facebook. So if you have Facebook pages, it's a great way to further expand your reach of the pets that you have available. And also for those in lost and found, or trying to match pets with other people that are out there. So a little bit about Petango. We had 1.2 million adopted since 2015, or in 2015 through Petango.com, and 1.9 million unique visitors. So you can see there's a large percentage of people out there that are utilizing Petango for their search, not only through PetPoint and through the shelter websites, but also just through the general websites out there as well. And again, we talked a little bit about Bluefin, which is our partner for electronic payment processing within PetPoint. It's a great way to really increase or to decrease your costs by having that integration into PetPoint. So anywhere you have PetPoint and you have an internet connection, obviously, you can utilize that as a credit card terminal for accepting payments. It is all PCI compliant. We don't actually handle the PCI compliance that's sent out to Bluefin, so PetHealth is not involved in that. But it's a great product. We have a lot of installations in that. And my slide on Vestify is not. Anyway, so I'll talk a little bit about that. So Vestify, which is our newest offering into the shelter software world, is really it's been in the works for several years. In 2015, when just after Fairfax Holding bought PetHealth, we looked at our software offerings and knew that PetPoint has always been targeted towards this medium to larger size markets, but we really didn't have anything for the really large shelters, the municipals, or those shelters that have need a lot of customization in their databases. So Chameleon has been primarily the main player out there in that space. And when Fairfax purchased us, they said we need to look at expanding what we do and how we can help more shelters out there. And so we purchased Vestify from Steve Zeidman, who was a former Pet Health employee. He was actually the architect for PetPoint back in the early 2000s. He left out on his own with PetSmart for a while, and then came back to PetPoint for Pet Health. We're glad he's back. Anyway, so he was developing Vestify as a product for the market out there, and it's a perfect fit to him to come back to Pet Health and to really launch this into the market. So we have just released that in beta version. We are finalizing all getting all the kinks worked out of it, and in January of 2017, we'll be launching that to the full market. It is completely customizable. It's called workflow management system. So rather than in PetPoint and in most databases, as you know, you model your business around the way the software functions. Vestify changes that around, so you work the software around your workflows. So it's highly customizable, has basic business rules built into it, so you can, you're not going to mess up your data. But it gives you complete flexibility. We have a shelter that's just going with it for their animal control as part of our beta testing to see, and it's revolutionary really in the way in the animal welfare industry. Workflow management's been around for in the public sector and the other sectors for probably 3 to 4 years, but the pet health data management systems have been really lacking in all the technology that's out there. The major players, other than ShelterLove, which is one of the newest ones on the market, they're utilizing more current technology. But for the rest of us, we're using like 10-year-old technology. So Vestify really brings us into the 21st century with the ability to create highly customized processes for your shelter. It's a great product. Again, we're really excited about being able to enter into the larger market, the higher, like the municipals and those kinds of shelters that have a really high number of intakes and animals that they manage. And you can do pretty much anything, manage the licensing, online licensing as well through that. So it's a really great product that we're pleased to have out. And I know I'm trying to be cognizant of the time at my time limit. So anyway, my card is on the table. You're welcome to give me a call if you have any questions. I'd love to talk more about that. So thanks for your time again and having me here today. I appreciate it.